wrote a book titled From Babylon to Timbuktu. In his book, Dr. Windsor gives an account of the scattering of the Israelites. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrageous and horrific atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period of Pompey to Julius, it had been estimated that over 1 million Israelites fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. Millions of Israelites who escaped the persecution of the Roman-Jewish War fled into the interiors of Africa.
On dit que c'est une barrière contre la contamination, mais après 4 accès de malaria, je commence vraiment à en douter.
La malaria, c'est de ça qu'il souffre?
De cela et d'une gamme de maux divers. Fièvre jaune, dysenterie, choléra. Sans compter les maladies de l'âme qui sont très difficiles à diagnostiquer et presque impossibles à guérir. C'est uniquement par la grâce de Dieu que ces pauvres gens atteindront leur destination, quelle qu'elle soit. Ou toujours par la grâce de Dieu ne l'atteindront pas. Dites-moi, lieutenant, pourquoi voulez-vous vous aventurer dans ces régions si peu avenantes?
Qu'est-ce que vous savez d'un homme qu'on appelle Chaka?
Est-ce que cela répond à votre question, lieutenant? Les Massanes, Kumalos, Lubis, Kiones, Guanes et tous les autres. Les bannis du sud-est africain. Ils ont fui les lances de Chaka pour se jeter dans les bras des marchands d'esclaves et des troupes britanniques qui veillent aux frontières de la colonie du Cap. À leur façon, lieutenant, ces êtres-là sont les toutes dernières victimes de l'histoire. Si vous me permettez une comparaison, ce sont les Juifs errants du continent africain. 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 Ils ont traqué la mort chez le pharaon Chaka contre Babylone, sa captivité et l'esclavage.
To be over the African Hebrews' claim that they are the original inhabitants of the land currently referred to as Israel. Are you claiming you're a Jew? What are you claiming?
I am a Hebrew Israelite. My nationality, my tribal origin, I am a Jew. There is a significant difference historically. We must go back and understand that there were 12 tribes making up the family of the 12 tribes of Israel. If you were a descendant of the tribe of Judah, you were a Jew. If you were a descendant of the tribe of Simon, you were a Simonite. Levi, a Levite. To refer to a Levite as a Jew in the days of our fathers would have been very, very insulting. So, never in our true history has the entire nation of Israel been referred to as Jews. When our fathers used the term, it only meant a descendant of the tribe of Judah or one that dwelled in Judea. But when referring to all of us collectively, we were referred to as the children of Israel, Israelites, or Hebrew Israelites. I am a Jew, but when I say that I am a Jew, I am simply referring to my tribal origin. And when I refer to my national origin, I am a Hebrew Israelite. A Hebrew as a descendant of Abraham, and an Israelite as a descendant of Jacob.
In the book of Genesis, the 15th chapter and the 12th verse to about the 15th verse, it said that a vision came to our father Abraham. It said, "Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them and afflict them 400 years. And afterwards I will then bring you back to this land." Then we went to the book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter, 68th verse, and said, thou shalt go into Egypt again, this time by ships, and there you shall be sold as male and female slaves, and no man shall buy you. Then in order to confirm whether or not the children of Israel were people of African descent, we went to the 10th chapter of Genesis, and we looked at the sons of Ham. Ham, one of the sons of Noah, had 4 sons himself. In the language of the Bible, Cush, Ethiopia, Put, Libya, Mitzrayim, which is a Hebrew word for Egypt, Egypt, one of the sons, and then Canaan land. Canaan land became Israel.
We consulted a notable biblical scholar who explained one origin of African presence in the Bible. Genesis 10:1 refers to the sons of Noah as Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who themselves had sons after the flood. Genesis 10:6 refers to the Hamites as the sons of Ham, who inhabited North and Northeast Africa. The sons are Cush, which is present-day Ethiopia, Mizraim, present-day Egypt, Put, present-day Libya, and Canaan, which is present-day Palestine, Israel. The African presence is still visible in Israel today. There are thousands of African Palestinians who live in Israel with deep roots to the land.
Most Egyptologists and anthropologists, archaeologists of the Eurocentric persuasion will say that Egypt is in Africa. They had to concede that, but then they still draw the line by saying that they weren't Africans like that. In other words, they weren't dark-skinned people. And of course, this is all part of the Great Deception. And the reality is that if they give up Egypt, ancient Kemet, if they give that up and say that that was a part of black Africa, then they will also have to give up Israel. And that's why they draw the line at Egypt, because if they give up Egypt, they've got to give up Israel.
Now, we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you where Israel sits on the African tectonic plate, which means that Israel is northeast Africa. Now, when we look at this map, this is the Sinai. Okay? This is the Red Sea. This is Egypt. This is the Sinai. This is Israel. All right? This is Saudi Arabia over here. Now, if you see this in Hebrew, it says Haluach Afrikani, the African plate. Here it is right here. Israel is sitting right here. Israel is sitting on the Haluach Afrikani, which means that Israel is northeast Africa.
Without question, we are in northeast Africa. We are landlocked to Egypt, with the exception of the Suez Canal, which was a man-made ditch, a boundary now between, in fact, it's not even really a boundary anymore since Egypt has reclaimed the Sinai Peninsula. But nevertheless, even those of us who are Pan-Africanists in our thinking and Afrocentric, we forget and we leave off that portion of northeast Africa and don't want to claim anything beyond that.
Europeans classified this area as the Middle East. You know, and then since this the Middle East, the other question, where the Middle West? Where the Middle North and where the Middle South? They don't have no geographical terms like that. And the only reason why they use that term, Middle East, because it disconnects the proper connotation that should go with describing this land geographically.
There's 2 tribes here was. The Tarabini tribe from this side, and for up there, this Azazma tribe. My father was here, my grandfather was here, my mother was, when she was young, she was here. This was the fulling of life. You see that wheel? Everybody, every tribe come here. This place call it Pir Malaka. Malaki Pir. All the Bedouin in this area, there's many of them. They don't have no water in this area. This one they have the water. The water is coming from the ground. They can't finish. Son of my grandfather is here for a long time, for maybe 500 or 600 years. It's very important for every person or every community, you know, to belong to the land.
When the Israeli came here and the British, Balfour promise, and Balfour promised to give the Jewish people a state. They make the border here. You say my land, I have a document. You say, okay, you have a document, this is your land, but it's not to live, not to make anything with this land. And all the army was here. The Turkish army, the Israeli army then. Okay, the Egyptians, they was on that side.
It's during this war?
Yeah, this is in
1948. This is during the time that when all the tribes had to scatter to Jordan and different places?
Yeah. Today the Israeli, they come here, we want to give you money to sell my grandfather. If I sell you this land here, I tell them, I sell my grandfather, I sell my blood, I sell my remember, I sell who I am.
Sheikh, could you tell us more about the tribe you belong to, the Terodian tribe, and give insight to how long you've been in this region, this area?
My people in this region, maybe in this region where we sit in now, and southern to the side of the Egyptian border, for I know 1,000 of years, maybe 1,000 of years if I know, maybe before this. We know this region or this area very much. We used to live here. My grandparents, all my grandparents is whose past is here in this land. So the Terabin tribe is a big tribe. It's called before like America today, big tribe and very strong and very warrior and fighter.
This is a photo of the leaders of the Terabin tribe. It was taken in Beersheba in 1934. Seated in the front row to the far right is a forefather of Sheikh Ayub.
Some of the tribe there's in Egypt, some here in Israel, some of them in Gaza region, some of them in Jordan. There's a big tribe and they live in this area. Behind us here there's another tribe, it's called Azazma tribe. Today, we enjoy Azazma and Tarabina tribe. They become together from a long time. They fight together against another tribes, and they become, like friendly, like one tribe. I say it's a village of Khalasa. Khalasa. Israeli people here, the government call it Khalutsa in Hebrew. This village was a big village, very activity, very lively here. They have a market, they have a trading, they have everything. This village belonged to the tribe or family, call it Ariate. This family in 1948, when the war come here, the Egyptian, the Israeli, then all the people here, they escaped to Jordan. The people of this land, or this village, they live in today in Aqaba in Jordan, southern of Jordan.
What do you guys see here, like these kind of houses?
This is what
remains.
This is what houses. This is the houses. This houses we call it in Arabic baika. Baika. All this for these people. So
see a real big one over there. What was that?
I think about the historian that told me that big house, this was for the sheikh of, the leader or the chief of this area. So this is not especially was just for this family, but this also the other tribe, Azazma tribe, Tarabin tribe, everybody was trading, making shopping.
Your tribe, Tarabin tribe,
yeah, everybody can come here, and this is the situation now. There is nobody here, there's no life.
Because of war, the people
Because of war, the people they left. So
now they have to live in Aqaba.
they live in Aqaba. Some of them, few of them, they live today in Tal Sheva, Tal Saba. It's near Beersheba, a bit of village near Beersheba, from the same family. They live here, but most of them is in Jordan. Today they have the document, they have everything that they have land, but you know, the Israel government says the people who left to the enemy states.
The enemy states. They classify Jordan as enemy state.
It's before. It's the law before. I don't know. He can't get his land again.
They take the land.
They take the land. They tell you they're land of the family, but they don't give you back. Even they don't give you nothing to live here. If I want to come to live here, this place is not for living. This is a place for the army trainings, of the army area, the army school. It's not for it. You want to grow something in the land? No. This is the system, the political system. How to steal your soul, how to steal your. But never.
They try to steal your strength.
Sheikh and Uncle Abu Awad walked ahead. I took a moment to stop and reflect on all that I saw and digest everything that Sheikh had shared with me.
It really hurts when I'm listening to Sheikh explain with so much passion how this was an inhabited place, a habited area. The Rayati family, people he knows, had to leave their land because of war, and knowing that war is taken away people's joy, people's life, their livelihood. And seeing the place now just, you know, uninhabited, just the remains of houses and loads of rocks everywhere from where houses were taken, blown up and destroyed because of war. It hurts. It really, I can't even find words to explain how I really feel, because I see the smile on his face when he speaks of what this was and the strive and beauty of that was here, and to know it no longer exists. There's not words I can put to it. There's not much. I can't even find the right words to say. I'm hurt for him. I'm hurt for those that had to leave their land. There's not much to say. Really much.
There are thousands of African Palestinians who live in Israel with deep roots to the land, whose ancestors date back for centuries. I met with Ali Juda, tour guide, and the informal mayor of the African Palestinians in Old Jerusalem. I asked him about his life and relations between the Afro-Arabs and the Jews.
Well, life for him, I think, it's the hell. I'm one of those people who had experienced that. To be Palestinian, that's a big problem. But to be a black Palestinian, I'm quite convinced it will be the hell, because as a black Palestinian, I am double oppressed by the Israelis.
In what way?
In what way? I will explain it. First of all, they oppress me as a Palestinian. Secondly, they oppress me because of my color. Whenever I go around in the Israeli side, they call me Kushi. Kushi means nigger. Kushi means nigger.
So, in Israel, the land of God, people who were the brothers of the Arabs, two brothers, you are called nigger as I am called nigger in America?
Let's say on the surface, this is what they say, that this is the land of God and we are cousins and there should be total equality. But once you come to the practice, when you come on ground, you will find that there is a lot of discrimination and there is a real divorce between what they say and what they exercise.
Black and white who watch the show, saying, so why stay? Why stay when you are called nigger every day? Why stay when you are denied your rights?
On the contrary, the more they humiliate me, the more they oppress me, the more I stick to my land, because this is my land. I'm so rooted, we are deeply rooted as Africans, as Palestinian Africans in this land.
And we know pretty well that our ancestors, I'm talking about thousands and thousands of years, had been here in this country, but they were spread away, taken to Africa, from Africa to the United States. So the more they exercise brutality, the more they exercise oppression against me, the more we are determined to stay, because this is our homeland, and we have a message, we have a holy message, that this land should be the land of free peace, not the false peace that they are talking about it now.
As I did the interview, I couldn't help but be amazed at the dismal setting. We were in Old Jerusalem, in the city of walls, sitting in an old jail called Prison's Gate.
It had been built by the Mamluks. The Mamluks.
Which are?
They are Arabs, Muslims, who came from Syria and occupied this area. We are talking about a period of 1358, about 600-700 years old, this place. Then afterwards, this place was taken by the Turks, when the Turkish Empire occupied the whole area over here. So those places were transferred to jails. Originally, those places were built for pilgrims, people who come from Mecca, outsiders. So the Mamluks wanted some places where they can stay, where they can serve them, give them food, and they have toilets, all these things. But once the Turks came over here, they transferred those places to prison. In the place you are sitting just now, they used to locate people who were sentenced to life, while in the other section, they used to locate people who were sentenced to death. Okay, I have a dream. I have a dream. It's not only me, all my people over here, that a day will come and we will have better conditions so that we can move from this prison. Yeah. But I think it's not only the name that gives it that definition, it's a prison.
And the name is?
In the meantime, I can say the whole area, the whole place that we are living is a prison, is a jail.
Not just this building?
No, not just this building. I'm talking about, in general, about the total situation. You can live in a very bombarded villa, apartment, outside, but you are still in jail because you are deprived of your freedom, freedom of expression. Try to imagine I'm living in a big villa, a millionaire. I have a Pontiac, 1997. Once I go in the street, they call me nigger. So what does it mean? It's nothing. It's nothing in front of my self-dignity, my personal dignity, my human dignity. I think I can talk that we are living in a big jail.
South of the Dead Sea across the Jordan Valley is an area noted in this region for its population of dark people.
Here, in the middle of Palestine, this is Tulkarem. You see, if you go there is a camp here. There is a camp, you see. Most of them are black. Most of them are black.
Unnoticed and unseen outside the Middle East, they may look like African Americans, but their home is neither Africa nor America. So are there many black Palestinians?
Yes, there are in every part, in the north, in the middle, near the coast. You see the Mediterranean. Along the Mediterranean, there are black people. They are Palestinians. They are Palestinians.
Muhammad Sati is a teacher. His friend Hassan Ali is also a teacher. They both live 60 miles north of Amman, Jordan, in a Palestinian camp, located within a town called Irbid. Like most other Palestinians, their families were forced to flee wars with Israel and leave their land behind.
We moved from Palestine 1948 because the division of Palestine in 1948 they divided Palestine into Israel, between Israel and Palestinians, and we moved from Palestine to West Bank.
My father told me that they have maybe about 17 acres in Baisan, you see, and they were agricultural people. They were farmers. But now they are not farmers anymore. Since they live our homeland, Palestine.
Now, Palestinians live, for the most part, as refugees, inhabiting camps like this one in Jordan, where they suffer from chronic unemployment, high infant mortality, and a low standard of living. Still, they are proud of their history of resistance.
His father died in the 1936 in revolution against the British.
Muhammad's family, like the overall Palestinian population, is composed of light and dark relatives living together.
About 80% of the people here are, most of them are black. If not black, they are light brown or no the white.
Mostly Muslim, many black Palestinians see their plight as political, but not necessarily racial.
Israel is meant to kick out all of the Palestinians without differentiation between the color or whether he's white or black or... it doesn't matter for them. Since he's Palestinian, he's living in Palestine, he will make a dangerous thing towards Israel.
The villagers believe that everything they do must be to the glory of God. The teachings begin with the very young, the future of the village, the children.
We are now going to recite the 7 prophetic stations of the kingdom of Yah. Holla. 1. Exodus coming out of America 1967. 2. The establishment of the kingdom of Yah. 3. The formulation of the doctrine of the kingdom of Yah. 4. The heritage gospel of the kingdom of Yah. 5. To acknowledge the holy Shabbat day. 6. Pray whether in the flesh or in the spirit toward the holy temple of Yah, or to rule in the spiritual center for the redemptive struggle. Look at me, I'm a testimony. Look at me, I'm a testimony. I got Yahweh by my side, and I'm safe and satisfied. Look at me, I'm a testimony.
Do you mind if I come over there in the camera with you?
No. It's a pleasure, brother. Welcome.
Okay, so...
Yes.
Brother. Yeah, so I'm saying, so there's... Okay, so I'm just trying to get the history of the black people in this land. That's really important to me.
Yes. So I showed you this picture. I showed you this picture. I wanted to show you that we Afro-Palestinians, we are deeply rooted. But even before the Islam, we are here in this country. But I say, okay, we don't want to go deeper in the history. But let's say beginning with the Islam, when the Islam came and opened this country. You see,
7th century.
Yeah, but it was this year 662.
And our black people here before the Islams?
Yeah, definitely, yes. For the Islam, yeah.
So how did our people become? Because you don't speak Arabic, right?
Yes.
So how did our people start to follow Islam?
Well, they started to follow the Islam when the Islam began spreading from Saudi Arabia to other areas, to Africa, to this area. But don't forget, in Saudi Arabia, if you go over there, you'll find a lot of our people, black people, who are originally, if you go back to their roots, you'll find they came from Africa. Yeah.
So what was our belief before Islam? Because I mean, recently, we don't know where most black people are. No Christian, Muslim, Jew, Rastafari.
We have Christians and we have Jews before the Islam.
Okay, but so you think our people Christians and Jews, or
Yes, there were black Jews and Christian Jews, Christians, blacks.
So that means our ancestors would have came from being Jews, like black Jews, to turn Christian and Muslim, and because I'm trying to get the deep roots of our ancestors.
Ali, do you recognize Ibrahim as African?
Ibrahim?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, I don't want to be stick to the belief of my father or my uncles over here.
Mm-hmm.
My father and my uncles believed that all prophets were brothers, blacks.
Yes.
Mm.
Your father's father.
If you talk about Jesus, they would say he's black. He was black.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad was black. Moshe was black. All prophets were black.
So they were all black. The original inhabitants of this land was African.
Yes. This is what they believe.
Yes.
My father and uncles here, they believe.
So the European is the new man in this area.
That's good.
Well, also, in some way, I'll say the Europeans are really stupid. Really stupid. When they picture Jesus blonde with blue eyes, what?
Yeah, impossible.
What? He born here in Bethlehem.
Right.
He born in Bethlehem. Go to Bethlehem and see the people over there.
Yeah. People are black in Bethlehem.
You see, the brown one, we regard him to be blonde. We look at him as blonde. So how comes Jesus blonde with blue eyes? As if he's Danish or Swedish.
Yeah, Michelangelo. That's why Michelangelo painted him.
Yes.
You understand?
So yes, your father and your uncles, they were all right.
Yes. What they believe.
But the Quran even says Moses was of dark complexion. Because it's written in the Quran, it said Moses of dark complexion.
Yeah. Look, Moses where? He came from Egypt.
Right.
Go to Egypt. Yeah. Unbelievable. Our people over there, unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying the world hearing from a real black Palestinian. That's what the world needs to know. That we have black people in Palestine. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't really, a lot of people in England, when you tell them about Palestine and Israel, they're like, they ain't going in that country, especially black youths. They think there's no black people over it. You know, a lot of black people. When I was telling them I was coming over this week, they was like, "Why are you going there for?" Like, see, meet my black people. They're like,
for example, go to the south, very close to where our people are living in the
Second Shalom.
Second Shalom.
We're going to take you to Second Shalom. That's 30 minutes from Dimona.
Arad, Beersheba. A lot of our people over there.
See? Now, these are things the world needs to know, you know, not just my people, but just people back in London and England. The world needs to know this.
Yes.
You know, reach out to our people. We need to reach out and help. You know, this is a universal struggle.
You see, the problem with our people abroad, for example, you from England, if you talk about this, but if somebody comes from Palestine and talk about it, the same with our people in the USA.
Yeah.
It's really very, very impressive to have someone from Palestine, for example, going over there and talking about the Afro-Palestinians. No, I should do my best. I have to go to the USA.
Une gigantesque ville en pierre construite au beau milieu de la savane. En 1871, l'explorateur allemand Karl Mahor découvrit les ruines du royaume du Grand Zimbabwe en Afrique australe. Il ignorait qui avait édifié cette cité, mais estimait son architecture trop complexe pour être l'œuvre des Africains. Aujourd'hui, nous en apprenons toujours plus sur cette brillante civilisation et ses liens avec les autres royaumes africains. Par un étroit sentier rocailleux et escarpé, on accède à cet ensemble en pierre, célèbre dans le monde entier, le plus grand et sans doute le plus ancien du sud de l'Afrique. Durant 200 ans, les souverains du Grand Zimbabwe ont régné sur un puissant royaume entre le Zambèze et le Limpopo, un territoire qui recouvre une grande partie de l'actuel Zimbabwe et une portion du Mozambique. Ce lieu était sa capitale, son palais et sa citadelle.
C'est le berceau de nombreux peuples de la région. Leurs descendants habitent maintenant en Afrique du Sud et au Botswana, entre autres.
Du XIe au XIIIe siècle, les habitants du Grand Zimbabwe ont contrôlé les mines d'or des hauts plateaux. Ce lieu est une émanation de leur richesse et de leur pouvoir. Les murs semblent surgir directement du sol. À certains endroits, ils se dressent au style, à d'autres, ils forment d'étroits passages. Cet exploit architectural stupéfie les experts. Aucun mortier n'a été utilisé. Les murs ne doivent leur stabilité qu'à une précision exceptionnelle et au savoir-faire des artisans.
C'est le mur le plus grand. Il mesure 11 mètres de haut et 6 mètres de large à la base. On estime que plus d'1 million de briques ont été utilisées.
Ce lieu est l'équivalent d'une ville médiévale de 20 000 habitants, qui vivaient répartis en différentes classes sociales.
Nous nous trouvons maintenant au sommet de la colline. Le site est constitué de 3 grands ensembles. La colline, les ruines de la vallée, avec leurs immenses murailles, et au-delà des murs, des habitations qui s'étendaient sur une superficie d'environ 720 hectares, mais dont il ne reste aucune trace aujourd'hui.
Comme à Mapungubwe, le roi semblait vivre à l'écart de ses sujets. Grâce aux murs épais, les riches, les puissants et les chefs religieux étaient assurés de rester entre eux.
Ce site est un vrai labyrinthe. On ignore pourquoi on a aménagé autant de passages. À mon avis, c'était une question de protocole. On voulait canaliser la circulation des personnes. Certaines n'avaient pas accès à tel ou tel lieu et devaient emprunter des passages spécifiques. Il y avait des passages réservés aux rois et à leurs épouses, et d'autres réservés à la plèbe.
Le rôle de ce site et l'identité de ses bâtisseurs ont longtemps fait l'objet d'une virulente controverse. Les Britanniques, qui régnèrent sur la région à la fin du XIXe siècle, ont nié la possibilité que ce royaume ait pu être fondé par un peuple africain. Aujourd'hui, nous savons que le Grand Zimbabwe fut bien l'œuvre des Africains, et non celle des Phéniciens ou des Arabes. Les mines d'or se trouvaient à 40 km de là.
L'or avait une importance capitale. Et nous savons qu'on en faisait le commerce entre l'arrière-pays de l'Afrique australe et la côte de l'Afrique de l'Est. Et de là, il partait pour la Chine, l'Inde ou le Moyen-Orient. C'est ce qui explique la prospérité de ce peuple et le fait qu'il ait pu édifier ce site.
Les archéologues ont retrouvé des perles, des bracelets, de la porcelaine et du verre en provenance de Chine et du Moyen-Orient. Le Grand Zimbabwe est la plus grande cité en pierre de l'ère précoloniale de l'Afrique australe. Un Eldorado africain où l'or régnait en maître. On ne peut pas comprendre ce royaume sans prendre en compte les civilisations et les autres royaumes qui se sont développés autour. Le Grand Zimbabwe fait partie d'une histoire aussi riche et fascinante que largement méconnue, faite de commerce, d'opulence et d'or. Le Grand Zimbabwe, considéré comme un des royaumes d'Afrique les plus avancés, déclina au XVe siècle, comme qu'ils. Les deux sites sombrèrent dans l'oubli pendant des siècles. le Grand Zimbabwe a donné son nom à l'actuel Zimbabwe. Preuve que les anciens royaumes ne disparaissent jamais totalement. j'ai trouvé une autre Afrique dans les ruines de civilisations anciennes. Nous en savons encore trop peu sur l'histoire de ce continent et de ses anciens royaumes. Mais une chose est sûre, il se perpétue.
The Gogodala people are a small tribe who live in the far western province of Papua New Guinea. It is one of the most unexplored places in one of the most unexplored countries in the world. The story the Gogodala tell of their origins begins with their ancestors' long journey by canoe to a scattering of lush islands set in this tropical lagoon. Thousands of years later, the Gogodala are still here, still using canoes as their main means of transportation around the lagoon, still cut off from the rest of the world. Now they are making an extraordinary claim that has attracted the attention of scholars and religious groups from around the world. The Gogodala say they are one of the lost tribes of Israel. They say the Jewish holy book, the Torah, is their story. And after thousands of years in an Eden all to themselves, the Gogodala now say they want to go home, to Israel. The Gogodala say they have always been Jews. In fact, their original ancestors, they say, came from Jerusalem.
And our ancestors believe, they passed down the story that we traveled in that canoes. The canoes came from a place called Yebisaba.
We believe that Yebisaba is in Israel, which is Jerusalem at this time, because at that time that place was still known as Yabis, and that's our ancestors and our forefathers told us that that's our homeland, and we will return one day to that place, Yabisaba, in the west.
A traditional dance of the Gogodala relates the story of their exodus from Israel and predicts their eventual return.
We are praying that the Lord's word will be fulfilled through us. When it says in the Bible, when Yeshua's coming, before he comes, all his people, his chosen people, will go back to Israel.
So far, the Gogodala claim to be Jewish has not been validated. Initial DNA tests by Professor Parfit proved inconclusive.
Well, I'm Juda Parfit from Florida International University. We've just got back from a trip to Papua New Guinea visiting a Judaizing tribe called the Gogodala. The research that I've been doing on the Gogodala feeds into work I've been doing for many, many years on similar Jewish movements or Judaizing movements throughout the world. It was really a pretty surreal trip from the moment that we arrived in Port Moresby. There was singing songs and waving banners of welcome, and this kind of extraordinary image pursued us throughout the whole trip. So we took an army plane a couple of days later, which took us right into the middle of the western jungle of the western province in Papua New Guinea, and the same thing happened. The army plane dropped us in the middle of a vast field, and immediately there were hundreds of people with banners and Israeli flags and yarmulkes and so on. But this was in the middle of the jungle, in one of the most remote and primitive places on the face of the earth. This is not the only group that thinks that they're lost tribes of Israel. It's a kind of it's a phenomenon in the area, and according to my own research, my own theory, it's a global phenomenon. So, and I very much hope that they will be able to receive some kind of sustenance from the links that they may create with other groups, such as the Igbo in Nigeria or the Lemba in Zimbabwe, many other groups throughout the world who believe themselves to be Israelites.
Yeah.
on dit qu'on est venu de l'Est.
Ou bien du Nord.
C'est-à-dire du Nord, quoi, en descendant.
Est-ce qu'en tant que Dan, il vous est déjà arrivé de parler entre vous d'Israël et d'un rapport que vous avez avec Israël?
Nos parents disent que nous sommes venus du nord du pays de Dieu. Et c'est plus tard. C'est plus tard qu'on a appris que l'Israël a été le pays que Dieu a visité.
D'abord, nos patriarches, certains patriarches qui étaient là, qui sont des patriarches, qui ne sont pas forcément intellectuels, hein, mais qui sont quand même cultivés sur le plan culturel, ils reconnaissaient que nous venions de l'Orient. Ça, dès l'enfance, on reconnaît cela. Mais ils ne savaient pas effectivement si on était de source hébraïque ou non.
Les soirs au clair de lune, le plus âgé de la famille, il appelle les jeunes. Ils font la ronde devant lui, lui il est en face. Et puis il raconte les histoires passées.
Ce soir, nous avons parmi nous un Dan Quilé. C'est son nom.
C'est comme ça, nous tous, on a eu des histoires. Hein.
Par exemple, genre d'histoire qui...
Bon, moi, j'ai ma grand-mère, hein, la maman de mon papa, qui m'a raconté l'histoire de, comment on appelle ça, la tour de Babel, pour la toute première fois.
Ah bon?
Elle m'a raconté qu'avant, voici ce qui s'était passé. Et Dieu a dispersé l'humanité. Dieu a dispersé l'humanité, c'est là qu'il a donné les ethnies. Il a commencé, le Yacouba est là, le Tintin est là. Et pour ne pas se comprendre, c'est ma grand-mère qui m'a dit ça pour la toute première fois.
Et à ton avis, d'où ta grand-mère a su ça?
Bon, elle a dit aussi que ce sont ses grands-pères qui ont raconté. Voilà, et donc, chez le Dan...
C'est pas... elle n'a pas lu...
Non, elle n'a pas lu.
Non, bon, il n'y a pas d'écriture. Il ne savait pas lire.
Voilà, et donc c'est comme ça que nous tous, et même les doyens...
Alors, est-ce qu'il y a encore des histoires comme ça qu'on vous raconter par rapport au passé?
Oui, il y en a trop.
Il y en a beaucoup.
La tribu de Dan, au départ, vient d'Éthiopie. C'est-à-dire que d'après les recherches qu'on fait, pour certains, ils viennent d'Éthiopie et sont montés vers la Côte d'Ivoire jusqu'au Mans. Mais en Éthiopie, il y a eu des sifrei Torah, des écrits qui ont permis de dire, voilà, il y a quelque chose de réel, il y a des écrits, il y a quelque chose qu'on peut palper. Or, chez les Dan, rien n'est resté, il n'y a pas d'écrit hébraïque, il n'y a pas même pas un morceau on pourrait dire, de parchemin qui pourrait nous mettre sur la voie, ni de livre. Je crois qu'ils ont peut-être été pris par les différentes conquêtes beaucoup plus rapidement peut-être, dès qu'ils sont arrivés, et donc n'ont pas pu garder les traditions.
Il y a eu, après le règne de Salomon, il y a eu un schisme qui a partagé le peuple d'Israël en deux. La tribu de Yehuda, la tribu de Juda, la tribu de Binyamin, ils sont restés au sud, et les 10 autres tribus ont fondé un royaume parallèle, qu'on appelle le royaume des 10 tribus d'Israël, au début avec à leur tête le roi Jéroboam, et rapidement ils sont tombés dans l'idolâtrie. Et donc Dan, de manière automatique, elle s'était reliée à ces 10 tribus d'Israël qui ont été emmenées en exil, qu'on appelle donc l'exil des 10 tribus d'Israël, par le roi Sanchériv, qui était un roi assyrien il y a 2700 ans à peu près, en moins 720, et qui a déplacé ces populations vers l'Est, vers l'Orient. C'est pour ça d'ailleurs que dans ses recherches, il le rechercherait, disons, à partir de l'Afghanistan jusqu'en Extrême-Orient, jusqu'au Japon, etc. En Inde, il n'y aurait pas eu d'exil vers l'Ouest. Et quand on recherche donc ces tribus perdues, un des signes, c'est que ces tribus-là ont une tradition qui les relie directement à la période donc, du premier temple. Et ils auraient continué à vivre dans ces différents endroits avec certains signes qui les relient, disons, à des habitudes du peuple d'Israël.
Ce qui est sûr, c'est qu'après la première diaspora, en 721, sous le roi d'Assyrie, 3 tribus sont venues vers l'Afrique, selon l'histoire. 3 tribus, pour rejoindre les enfants de Salomon. Parce que Salomon a eu avec sa relation avec la reine de Séba, ils ont eu des enfants. Et plus tard, un des enfants est devenu même roi d'Éthiopie, Ménélec. Et Israël avait donc ses petits-fils qui étaient là en Éthiopie déjà. Donc c'est pourquoi les 3 tribus sont venues là après la déportation. Ils sont venus là rejoindre leurs cousins. Et ils sont restés là, mais comme je l'ai dit d'entrée, ils n'ont pas été intégrés à la société éthiopienne et on les a appelés Falasha, qui veut dire exilés. Il y a 3 tribus, certainement Azer, Gad et Dan. Et ils ont laissé des petits-enfants aussi, dont les Peuls aujourd'hui. Parce qu'il y a alliance entre nous et les Peuls, parce qu'on sait qu'on est des cousins. Les Peuls sont issus de l'un ou l'autre, soit d'Azer ou de Gad. Les Peuls, qui sont au nord de l'Afrique. Et il y a alliance entre les Peuls et les Dan à cause de cela.
To their Christian neighbors, this world of fire and hot iron seemed like black magic. Persecuted, regarded with suspicion, the Jews were labeled falashas. The word means wanderers, landless.
I don't like to be called falasha. It means you're a foreigner. Go away from here. When they called me falasha, I was very hurt.
Falasha is an obscenity. They had no respect for us. As it had for Jews elsewhere, adversity hardened their will. Religious leaders established strict rules of conduct to insulate the Jews from their Christian neighbors. Our forefathers erected a barrier. It was forbidden to enter the house of a Christian, to eat with a Christian, to drink the water of a Christian. Because of this, we survived. The Torah, handwritten on goatskin in the ancient Gez tongue and known as the Orit, was at the heart of Ethiopian Jewish life. The Mishnah, Talmud, and other later commentaries were unknown. The Sabbath and other holidays mentioned in the Torah were strictly observed. On Friday we bathed. On Saturday we prayed in the synagogue. We all wore clean white clothes. On Shabbat in Ethiopia, no one cooked or lit fires. It was a day of rest. We went according to the Torah. What was written in the Torah was what we did. For that reason, the Passover Seder and holidays like Lag BaOmer, Hanukkah, and Purim that came into being after the destruction of the Second Temple were foreign. The Sigd was unique to Beta Israel, a time of prayer and fasting, renewing the ancient covenant forged between God and Moses at Mount Sinai. On this day, the Jews of Ethiopia dared to dream of Jerusalem, of returning to their holy city.
My grandfather would gather all the children and tell them about the land of Israel, about the Jews. I understood I was a part of the people of Israel.
The Jewish world knew almost nothing of Beta Israel. Over the centuries, scattered reports told of Jewish tribes living beyond the mythical Sambatyon River, of a remote African land inhabited by the 10 lost tribes of Israel. 1775, Scottish explorer James Bruce reported the existence of Jews in Ethiopia. In the mid-19th century, French researcher Antoine Dabadi reported meeting Torah-observant black Jews. But real contact came only in 1867, when the French Kol Yisrael Haverim organization sent Professor Yosef Halevi to investigate Jewish life in Ethiopia. His report brought no further action. During the late 19th century, half of Ethiopia's Jewish communities succumbed to drought, war, disease, and famine. In 1904, Halevi's student, Yaakov Feitlovich, came to Ethiopia and remained for 2 years, living with, learning about, Beta Yisrael.
When Dr. Feitlovich came to Ethiopia, my father told me he was not recognized by our Kesim. He was not allowed to enter to synagogue because he was white. So I myself, I thought all the Jewish people over the world are black people.
Feitlovich returned to Europe with a letter from the Kesim, the Ethiopian religious leaders, saying, "Do not forsake us." He brought back a letter from the rabbis of 42 Jewish communities, offering moral support, but little concrete assistance. Feitlovich went on working to bridge the gap between Beta Yisrael and the Jewish world. Books and teachers, kippot, skullcaps, and prayer shawls, the Talmud and the Mishnah, the holidays and customs of mainstream Judaism began appearing in Ethiopia.
ישראל, בני ישראל ירדו למצרים, וידוע לנו מלפי הפירושים שלא כל אחד יצא ממצרים. אז אלו שנשארו נדדו דרומה, לדוגמה לנוביה, אתיופיה, ואחר כך צ'אד, והגיעו בסופו של דבר לקוט דיבואר.
Le kabbaliste David Cohen de Jérusalem confirme que la tribu de Dan s'en est allée au sud-ouest et non vers l'est, et ce pour des raisons particulières.
Finalement, il va y avoir l'exil des autres tribus, et c'est clair qu'ils vont du côté de l'Asie apparemment. Maintenant, je n'inclus pas dans les autres tribus la tribu de Dan. Dan, c'est quelque chose de particulier dont je vais parler après. D'abord, il a un nom qui est fait de 2 mots, qui est donc le mot Dan, et lui, en fait, il veut apparemment se montrer qu'il veut la droiture de la justice, mais finalement, il n'est là qu'à rechercher son bien-être. Et c'est pour ça que c'est une tribu qui, dès que l'occasion va se présenter, sous un bon prétexte de ne pas se lier aux autres tribus qui veulent combattre Juda et Binyamin, va décider de partir. Et en fait, il se sauve de ces parce qu'il dit il faut la justice. Donc, il ne veut pas faire quelque chose qui n'est pas bon, mais c'est un prétexte qu'il va utiliser pour finalement s'en aller. Et c'est pour ça que lui, c'est la seule tribu qui va aller vers l'Afrique. Pourquoi il va vers l'Afrique? Parce qu'à ce moment-là, l'Afrique, il faut savoir que le climat du globe terrestre a changé. Que l'Europe était très très froide à cette époque-là, n'était pas très vivable. Mais par contre, le Moyen-Orient et l'Afrique étaient les terres les plus fertiles, où il y avait de l'abondance de soleil et de pluie. Donc il va découvrir des lieux aujourd'hui qui sont aujourd'hui des déserts et sont des régions arides. C'était des régions très fertiles à l'origine et qui avec le temps ont changé, et c'est ce qui se passe. Il semble qu'ils se soient répandus en différents points et qu'ils se soient, mais malheureusement ils se sont assimilés. C'est clair que ce n'est pas toute la tribu de Dan qui est partie, mais cette partie qui a quitté sous prétexte dont on parle, malheureusement a fini par complètement s'assimiler. Et on ne peut pas parler de qu'ils sont restés dans leur judaïsme, puisqu'ils n'ont plus appliqué quoi que ce soit du judaïsme et se sont assimilés.
הרדב"ז פוסק בשו"ת. הרדב"ז שו"ת המאה ה-16, אני חושב, כן, שם הוא אומר שיהודי אתיופיה, והוא מביא כמה הוכחות, שהוא חקר אז לפני 500 שנה או 400 שנה, הוא חקר ואמר שיהודי אתיופיה הם יהודים משבט דן, והם יהודים ללא ספק. זה הוא הכריע. על הפסק הזה מסתמכים כל הרבנים לאחר מכן. רוב הרבנים, בוודאי הרבנים הספרדים וגם האשכנזים, מסתמכים על זה, ולכן באמת בעצם הכירה בנו הרבנות אז בזמנו, בזמן העלייה, כיהודים לכל דבר. זו שיטה שמקובלת, אבל בני העדה על אף לי, אנחנו לא חושבים שאנחנו משבט דן. כי המסורת שלנו היא אחרת. המסורת שלנו אומרת שאנחנו משבט יהודה. גור אריה יהודה, אנחנו היו באתיופיה בהחלט ככה מקובל, קודם כל ככה מקובל במסורת, זה לא דבר כתוב, מאב לבן עבר הדבר הזה שאנחנו משבט יהודה, ולזה יש כמה סממנים באתיופיה עצמה. למשל, היו מה שנקרא ממלכות יהודיות שמלכו על כל אתיופיה, כמו שבעת הגדעונים. יש מסופר על שבעת הגדעונים, זה אנחנו יודעים מזה מההיסטוריה, אבל זקני העדה גם יודעים לספר שהייתה ממלכה רצינית של יהודים, בגלל שהם דווקא משבט יהודה והעבירו את זה. הראיה שעד היום באתיופיה, הסמל של הממלכה עד היום, בוודאי עד הקיסר האחרון, ואחר כך עד היום יש סמל של אריה.
אבל על יהודי אתיופיה אנחנו יודעים עליהם הרבה מאוד שנים. הרדב"ז דיבר עליהם, הרב אברטנורה וכן הלאה וכן הלאה. אז זו קבוצה ידועה. וגם טענו שכמובן שיהודי אתיופיה, ביתא ישראל, הם משבט דן. והפסק ההלכה של הרב עובדיה יוסף, שאפשר ליהודי אתיופיה להגיע ארצה בשנות ה-70 של המאה הקודמת, זה הפסק ההלכה שמבוסס על זה שהוא קורא להם שבט דן.
Eve of Shabbat, the Jewish Sabbath. Operation Solomon, the secret airlift of Ethiopian Jewry, is underway. An entire Jewish community is about to reach its promised land. Will celebrate their homecoming, yet the origins of Beta Israel, these black Jews from Africa, will remain a mystery. Some 3,000 years ago, a gift-laden caravan carried the Queen of Sheba across the desert to visit King Solomon. Did the Ethiopian Jews descend from their son and his followers, or from one of the 10 tribes of Israel, perhaps the tribe of Dan? Did they stem from Ethiopian Christians who adopted Judaism? From Yemenite Jews brought to Ethiopia as prisoners of war? Or from Jews exiled from Jerusalem after the destruction of the first temple in 587 BCE? No one is certain how Beta Israel came to inhabit northeastern Africa. When Solomon's temple in Jerusalem was destroyed, the Jews were exiled, dispersed in all directions. We never forgot what was written in the Torah. We kept on praying to return. We have no written history, but our forefathers say we came to Ethiopia through Egypt and the Sudan to the Ganda region.
We born a Jew and we will be forever Jew. And so today, I am not trying to find where is my origin.
The point is, we came to Ethiopia, and our forefathers fought to remain Jewish, and they passed down their tradition to us.
של הרב עובדיה יוסף ביביע אומר ששם הוא כותב שעל בסיס פסק הלכה
של רדב"ז,
אז כאילו הם יהודים.
כן, אבל מי שבט דן של ישראלים, רדב"ז מדבר על משרתת, עבד בעצם, אישה, שהיא פלשית, הוא קורא לה פלשית, שהיא משבט דן. זה הרדב"ז שהכריז שהם משבט דן, והוא לוקח כמקובל בהלכה תקדים, של הרדב"ז, שהוא פוסק הדור, והוא אומר, הנה הרדב"ז התייחס לאישה פלשית כשבט דן, אז יהודי אתיופיה הם משבט דן.
אני אגיד לך, מפני שבעצם הרדב"ז היה לפני 400 שנה. 400 שנה זה המון זמן בשביל שאולי ישתנו דברים, אולי נאמרו דברים אחרים. יכול להיות שזה הפער שנוצר בין מה שהרדב"ז אמר. עוד אופציה שאני יכול לחשוב עליה זה לאתיופיה, אולי הגיעו שני שבטים. הוא פגש, ייתכן שהוא פגש אנשים שהם היו משבט דן שהתווספו, הרי בגלות, כשיצאו לגלות, אמרתי שזה מבית הראשון, אם זה מבית ראשון, זה אומר שהגלות הייתה 10 השבטים, כולם גלו. יכול להיות חלק מדן גם הצטרפו אליהם וירדו יחד איתם.
Le révérend Dion est allé en Éthiopie et s'est rendu aux archives nationales où il a retrouvé des traces écrites sur le passage et le départ des Danites de cette contrée.
Donc, les Danites sont nommés Falachas. Et vous savez, comme l'histoire le dit, c'est dans le volume 16 2000 de l'Éthiopie qui raconte cette histoire. Cette histoire a été racontée parce que le roi Sarsan Angèle, qui était roi d'Éthiopie, a voulu faire de ces Falachas-là des esclaves pour travailler sur tout le territoire.
Relève-toi, mon ami. Tu sais qu'il n'y a rien que je puisse te refuser. Dis-moi l'objet de ta visite.
Lion de Juda, je ne sais par quoi commencer.
Tu es assuré de notre amitié. Commence par là.
Un certain nombre d'esclaves en fuite sont parvenus à se réfugier dans ton royaume.
Les esclaves te seront ramenés, car je sais que tu ne manquerais pas de nous renvoyer les nôtres.
Il y a toutefois une poignée d'hommes libres avec eux, des rebelles.
Des rebelles? S'il y a quelques troubles en Arabie, pourquoi ne pas m'avoir averti?
Ce sont des rebelles à notre religion.
À un moment ou à un autre, toute religion s'est trouvée en rébellion. Les corps des esclaves sont universels et seront à votre disposition. Mais comme Jésus-Christ est notre berger, les âmes des hommes sont ses brebis.
Ce sont des Arabes qui ont osé trahir la religion de leurs ancêtres. Ils suivent une espèce de fou qu'ils appellent un prophète.
Mais je n'ai pas le droit d'enchaîner des êtres sans les avoir entendus.
Que le roi Sarsan Angèle, qui était roi d'Éthiopie, a voulu faire de ces Falachas-là des esclaves pour travailler sur tout le territoire. Il avait besoin de la main-d'œuvre pour développer son royaume. Et le roi Sarsan Angèle a voulu les utiliser. Mais en souvenir de l'esclavage en Égypte et avec les Assyriens et partout, ils sont passés, ils ont refusé. Leur patriarche qui s'appelait Gédéon a dit, quand vous lisez les annales, il a dit que eux, ils préfèrent mourir que de devenir esclaves. Il a rassemblé le peuple et voilà, l'armée de Sarsan Angèle les avait entourés pour les dissémer. Mais au profit de la nuit, ils ont fui. Évidemment, on en a fait certains qui sont restés esclaves de Sarsan Angèle. Et c'est ceux qui se sont dispersés. Certains sont allés vers l'Afrique centrale, d'autres maintenant vers l'Afrique de l'Ouest dont on parle les dents de Côte d'Ivoire. Il y en a même qui sont allés jusqu'au Bénin. Le Bénin qui est aujourd'hui, qui était le Dan Homais. Dan Homais, ça veut dire dans le vent de Dan. Donc, ils sont venus par la route du fer Et ils ont traversé toute la contrée nord-africaine jusqu'au Niger, jusqu'à Nob. Et ils ont laissé là certaines familles. C'est pourquoi au Niger, il y a des noms danites qui se trouvent dans la population nigérienne. Et après, ils sont descendus dans le grand royaume Mandingue. Et là, ils ont tissé alliance avec les Mandés. C'est pourquoi en Côte d'Ivoire, on les appelle Mandés du Sud, mais ce n'est pas des Mandés, c'est des Danites qui étaient, n'est-ce pas, qui ont fait leur immigration et leur pérégrination est passée par le Niger et ils sont descendus dans le royaume Mandingue avec les Mandés et ils sont venus jusqu'à s'installer au nord de la Côte d'Ivoire, au nord-ouest de la Côte d'Ivoire. Et là, ils ont tissé des relations avec la population qui était en place à cette époque-là. Mais ça n'a pas suffi. Ils ont continué leur route. Ils sont allés jusqu'en Guinée. Et ils ont laissé là un patriarche qui s'appelait Blé. Et la partie où les Français ont appelé Guerzé, c'est Blessé. Blessé, ça veut dire la terre de Blé. Alors donc Blé, qui était un des patriarches qu'on a laissé en Guinée, dans la partie forestière de la Guinée. Après, ils sont descendus vers la contrée qu'on appelle aujourd'hui le Libéria. Ils ont laissé là une partie de la famille et ils sont remontés par le fleuve Nyon, le fleuve Cavali, et ils sont venus à l'emplacement actuel où ils ont bâti leur capitale qu'on appelle Ma. Au départ, dans cette région, il y avait les Magouais. Les Magouais sont des Éthiopiens qui sont venus là en 1er au 14e siècle, sous le nom général Krou. C'est Couche. Ils sont couchistes. Ils descendent de l'Éthiopie, on dit Krou, là-bas en Côte d'Ivoire. C'est eux qui étaient installés, c'est eux qui occupaient cette place. Et quand nos ancêtres sont arrivés, alors il y a eu la guerre tribale entre eux.
Mandés nord et les mandés sud. Et à l'intérieur des mandés sud, on a les dents, qu'on appelle par ailleurs les Yakuba et ceux qui sont dans les montagnes, les Touras. Et puis, il y a les bourreaux qui sont loin des dents, qui sont loin des Yakuba, qui sont au centre. Mais ils font partie des dents du sud.
Au niveau de leurs coutumes, les dents, est-ce que leur manière d'agir, leur manière de s'habiller, le principe des sacrifices, des dons qui sont faits, est-ce que c'est quelque chose qu'on retrouve aussi dans les autres ethnies, ou bien eux, ils ont des choses particulières?
Ils sont fortement influencés par le groupe Mandé Nord. Donc, les Malinqués, ceux qui pratiquent la religion musulmane, ils s'habillent comme les Malinqués.
On ne vient pas des Mandés. On a été parmi les Mandés. Vous savez, dans l'immigration des peuples, vous voyez, quand ils arrivent là où il y a un autre peuple, ils vont faire alliance pour être acceptés. Et on a fait alliance avec les Mandés pour être acceptés. On est resté parmi eux. Mais quand on a vu leurs pratiques, regardez par exemple, nous, on est les seuls peuples qui avaient la circoncision des mâles. Mais parmi les Mandés, il y avait l'excision. Et qu'ils ont essayé de nous inculquer. Justement, c'est pour cela qu'on a quitté les Mandés, parce qu'ils ont voulu nous islamiser. Mais nos ancêtres ont dit non. Ils sont sortis de là et ils sont allés en Guinée et Libéria pour venir finalement s'implanter dans la région. Sinon, ils étaient avec les Mandés, le grand royaume Mandingue, qui était déjà islamisé.
Et puis, la langue est fortement influencée aussi par le malinqué, la langue malinquée.
Musulmans, donc
voilà.
Il y a des mots d'origine arabe qui rentrent chez les malinqués, ou bien?
Oui, ils sont musulmans carrément. Et dans leur langue, il y a beaucoup de mots malinqués.
Dans la langue des dents.
Alors, on ne peut pas prendre un mot comme ça dans le vide pour donner. Même les historiens comme Noël Loukou, qui sont les grands historiens ivoiriens, Ils ont dit les Danites, hein, leur langue, on dit dans au premier, ça veut dire ceux qui parlent la langue dedans. Mais la langue dedans, c'est l'hébreu. C'est l'hébreu. 90% des mots danites en Côte d'Ivoire, c'est l'hébreu.
Alors, pour moi, la ressemblance, d'abord, c'est le fait de ces termes en hébreu. Ça, c'est les termes en hébreu qui me paraissaient tout à fait marquants, parce que dans un patois, on n'a pas l'habitude de mettre des termes hébreux, c'est-à-dire que c'est vraiment dans le langage usité.
J'ai commencé à comparer les mots. Voilà. Et en hébreu, on dit Bereshit, mais chez nous, on dit Brassi. Vous voyez, c'est presque les mêmes racines, les mêmes façons. Yahweh, on dit Yahweh. Donc, chez nous, Yahweh, c'est Yahweh. Hein? Adonai, Adodang. Alors, tout ça, j'ai commencé à étudier tout un panorama linguistique et avec l'hébreu ancien par rapport à notre langue. Je dis bien l'hébreu ancien parce que ça évolue. Alors, il y a plusieurs similitudes linguistiques comme ça, et il y a plusieurs similitudes culturelles. Et par exemple, les habits que nous portons avec cette bande, qui étaient les habits des Cohen. Et dans ma langue danite en Côte d'Ivoire, les Cohen, on les appelle les Quoique. C'est la même chose.
Les noms dents, là, c'est les dents de l'ouest de la Côte d'Ivoire qui ont conservé ce nom-là. Sinon, les dents, il y en a un peu partout. Moi, j'ai parcouru un peu quelques pays où il y a les dents.
Mais c'est nous qui avons conservé.
C'est les dents de Man, la région des montagnes, qui a conservé le nom dents.
On nous appelle dents, mais notre nom aussi, c'est Yacouba.
C'est Yacouba.
Yacouba. On a deux noms.
Yacouba et dents.
D'après vous, qu'est-ce que ça signifie,
Yacouba, chez nous, ça, normalement, ba là, c'est la contraction de Banou, c'est-à-dire enfant. C'est les enfants de Yakou.
Yacouba, les enfants de Yakou.
Les enfants de Yakou. Yakou Banou.
C'est qui Yakou?
Bon, on ne sait pas.
C'est l'un de nos ancêtres, peut-être.
C'est l'ancêtre de Yacouba, des dents.
Il n'y a pas plus grand honneur, plus grand bonheur pour nous de rejoindre la maison de nos ancêtres. Tout ce qu'on fait ici, si nous sommes des enfants de Jacob et que nous pratiquons la Torah, il n'y a pas plus grand bonheur que ça. Tu peux être ministre, tu peux avoir l'argent, mais la Torah, la voix de Dieu, il n'y a pas plus que ça.
Et tu aimeras l'Éternel ton Dieu de tout ton cœur, de toute ton âme et de toute ta pensée. C'est la dimension dans laquelle je me trouve maintenant et je suis très heureux.
Il est temps maintenant de rejoindre la grande famille.
La grande famille d'Israël.
Voilà, la grande famille d'Israël.
Quand ça va commencer là, vous n'allez pas reconnaître les dents musulmans, les dents temps, les dents temps. Ils vont tous venir. Parce qu'ils vont rejoindre leur origine. C'est tout.
Tout ce que Dieu dit et tout ce que Dieu a proclamé par les prophètes, ce sont des choses qui doivent s'accomplir. Si aujourd'hui, le peuple d'Israël recherche les tribus perdues parce que eux qui étudient profondément la Torah, ils savent que c'est la fin des temps, il fallait retrouver les peuples perdus, les tribus perdues, c'est que c'est déjà un espoir pour les Danites dans le monde entier.
Enfin, c'est un ouf pour nous, parce que Dieu s'est rappelé de nous.
Nous sommes quand même, après tout, de sources hébraïques. Ce qu'on a appris dès la jeunesse, malgré 2700 ans, quand même, on a gardé. On ne peut pas ignorer Dieu.
On a un peuple ici qui s'appelle Dan, fils de Jacob, qui croit dans un Dieu unique qui s'appelle Yahweh, mais on n'a pas le droit de prononcer son nom, dont le jour sacré est le samedi, qu'ils appellent d'ailleurs sabbat, qui évidemment font la circoncision, ont des règles de pureté familiale, etc., qui disent ouvertement qu'ils sont descendants des Hébreux, et des tas d'autres preuves historiques, etc. Qu'est-ce qu'il vous faut de plus ?
the true bona fide descendants. That is why Matthew and Bartholomew went down into Ethiopia to teach the lost sheep. They did not go to the Americas to teach nobody. They went to Ethiopia, they went to India, they went to the Asia Minor. But most important, they went to Ethiopia because they knew that many of the Israelites migrated to Ethiopia. And with that being said, Shalom.
But amidst all the politics is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This is the site where Christians believe Jesus was crucified, buried, and rose from the dead. On the church's rooftop lies an Ethiopian monastery. A group of gentle Ethiopian monks live in tiny cells on the rooftop monastery. Their sole mission is to protect and guard the site they believe is where Jesus was crucified and buried, and to be caretakers of that property. I was honored to be granted a rare interview with Father Jesus about their commitment. About how long have Ethiopians been in this area?
כמה זמן אתיופים כאן באזור הזה? Over 1,500 years.
So why has it been so difficult for him to hold, for the Ethiopians, to hold on to this land?
למה זה יותר מדי קשה לשמור או להישאר פה במקום הזה? Said, originally we had a number of places here, not just this place, but we were spread out all over this area. Afterwards there was a problem, there was a war. And because of that, only Christians could took this place. And they pressured them and put them out, and then they began to move to establish their tents, residences here on the roof. And now because the Egyptians and the Armenians have taken much of their places here on these holy spots. Ken. Just the area, surrounding area, is theirs here in the old city.
How long can they stay here? How long are they prepared to stay here?
He said they're ready to stay forever, forever long, for however long.
Are you guarding the tomb of Jesus?
אתה השומר, אתם השומרים של המקום של ישוע. He said, we are guardians. He said, despite the problems with the Egyptians and the Armenians and others, we are guardians, and we are here to maintain that.
And what makes him stay?
Lama ata mishaer po. He said, I added, because the life is very hard here. He said, the life is not hard here. He said he remains because he desires to maintain a holy a presence, to pray holy prayers and maintain the African presence here.
As I continue to trace the African presence in Israel.
Anyị bụ agụleri kwa Ghana mwere niile dị n'Afrịka na-enanya na ọbịbịa unu bụ Israel bịakwasịrị anyị n'ọya abalị anyị na-ekwu ulu ka na anyị na-enanya unu ugbu a na anyị bụ mwere ọ bụrụ ebe eji egwuri egwu maka na akwụkwọ nsọ nke si na saịdị unu wee bịa dịka Genesis 46 15-16 n'iri dia iri a anyị chọpụtara na iri a bụ nwa Gad a bụ ụmụ Israel ahụ ka nọ Gad a ncha bụ Israel ahụ n'onwe
bụ obodo
na asọpụrụ onye isi ba bụkwụzi obodo na-eme ba na-edebe ụbọchị ozuzu ike Chineke ba na-eje ọrụ ụbọchị ozuzu ike ba na-asọpụrụ ya.
We are the descendants of Eri, who was one of the sons of Gad, who was one of the sons of Jacob. The children of Eri left Egypt during the Exodus, mass movement of the people.
The next day, we were invited to visit Nuri village, another ancient Igbo patriarchal site.
Those they saw, they were Hebrews. But for the pronunciation problem among the early settlers, they pronounce it Igbo.
Chicken for sacrifice.
When the Igbo heard that their custom of waving the slaughtered chicken over their heads resembles a Jewish atonement ritual, they became very excited. Revelation, they declared a holiday, Great Agulari Day, that conveniently coincides with the birth of Jesus. Its acronym, Gad, is the name of the father of Eri and one of the lost tribes.
More or less feast of Passover being performed here. See the chicken and
the Iru Mo'u holiday can be compared with Passover. It is observed by extended families who eat a sumptuous meal and offer chickens as sacrifices. Like the Igbo, there are thousands of communities in Africa that associate themselves with the lost tribes. The oral history of this region poses fascinating challenges for conventional historians. Some of the artifacts in this museum reinforce the Igbo's link with the tribes of Israel. But of course, nothing can be determined with certainty.
Several Igbo settlements admit that this staff is from the Israelites. And it was the staff that God gave to Moses and the rest of patriarchs when they were leaving the area. And we use it also to settle disputes between tribes or settlements. And below here,
during our visit, there were rumors that an ancient Hebrew scroll was concealed at the palace. When we wanted to film it, our guide followed the local tradition and consulted the spirits. This time the answer was a definite no. We wondered why. Igbo tribespeople constitute the intellectual elite of Nigeria. Although the Igbo are still discriminated against, they continue to flourish. In this religious procession that appears primitive, march famous attorneys, engineers, physicians, and several millionaires. The Igbo control Nigeria's economy, but have no political ruling power. Perhaps this is why 5 million Igbo are now seeking their fortunes abroad.
This thing must have happened so many years ago. But the wandering Hebrews in the forests before they came here still remember to call on the God of Abraham when they want to break kola nut and talk to God. And they don't call him Abraham, they say Chukwu Abiama. Chukwu means God. Abiama is a corruption of Abraham. Chukwu Abiama. This is called Ebo, to keep out evil persons and evil spirits. 12 days to the feast, all married women from the particular compound will come and prepare food for their ancestors. Chicken for sacrifice.
When the Igbo heard that their custom of waving the slaughtered chicken over their heads resembles a Jewish atonement ritual, they became very excited.
We have no plans to migrate to Israel, but we are very proud of our past and our culture. I've told you about when you shed your brother's blood, there's something we perform. No other people in Igbo land do that. If you are not holy, we have been emphasizing throughout this morning on the need for purity in spirit, in mind, and body before you go to the shrine of the ancient people. If you are not clean and you go there, you will not come out alive. That's what we believe. And most people don't go there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. But I know at times, there's what they say, church title and traditional title.
Yes.
I want you to emphasize, to elaborate more on those things.
Sacrament is different from Ozo. And here in Inri, Ozo is not a sacrament under the Catholic doctrine. And don't forget, before you become a Zen, you must be dead and you resurrect. So all this story in the Bible about death and resurrection is not new to us.
The priest scatters the feathers to prevent the incursion of evil spirits and other lethal mass media.
Ghana is 60 years old today and is the right time to sit back and learn about our origins. Why? History is the teacher of life, and those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Deuteronomy 32:7 tells us, "Remember the days of old. Reflect upon the years of other generations. Ask your father, and he will tell you, your elders, and they will inform you." Most of our parents are actually older than Ghana, so we should ask them, so they inform us about the past as the Torah commands. I had the opportunity to do this with my father not too long ago, and the wealth of information about our origins was quite breathtaking. Since I'm a Ga, I'm going to be talking about the Gandangbes of Ghana. We the Gas of Ghana are Hebrews. We are Hebrew Israelites. A little education before the history lesson. When I say I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I am saying I'm not a Jew, and I am saying I don't practice Judaism. I'm going to define my terms now. Most people incorrectly associate the term Jew with Israel. While Jews are Israelites, not all Israelites are Jews. This is very clear in Scripture, yet it is one of the many misconceptions Christians tend to have. The word Hebrew in the original tongue, Ivri, is used for the first time in the Torah to describe Abraham, Genesis 14:13. This is our original name, Hebrew, Ivri. Another name used for us is children of Israel or Israelites, which refers to the fact that we are descendants of Jacob, who was also called Israel. The word Jew in Hebrew, Yehudi, is derived from the name Judah, which was the name of one of Jacob's 12 sons. Judah was the ancestor of one of the tribes of Israel, which was named after him. Likewise, the word Judaism really means Judaism, that is, the ism, the religion of Yehudi. Since I'm not from the tribe of Judah, I'm not a Jew, and I don't practice the ism of the Yehudi. Also, being a Hebrew does not mean I belong to a religious group. God did not send Moses to bring us out of Mizraim, Egypt, to start a religion. Read your Bibles very carefully. You will be to me a kingdom of priests, not a religion of priests or a religious groups of priests. We are a people, we are a nation. Just as Akan, Ashanti, Ewe are not religious groups, so too a Hebrew or a Jew is not a religious group. Then it will mean that studying the Torah is not a religious activity, but rather a cultural obligation. Now to history. Deuteronomy 28:64 tells us, "And the Lord will scatter you among all the nations, from one end of the earth to the other. And there you will serve other deities unknown to you, or your forefathers, deities of wood and stone." The gods of Ghana are evidence of this 3,700-year-old prophecy. We, the gods, are direct descendants of the Hebrew Israelites that migrated to West Africa by way of Egypt to the Gold Coast, modern Ghana. We migrated from Israel, having been exiled by the Assyrians about the 6th century BC, through Egypt, then to Ethiopia, where we settled in northern Ethiopia, where the Blue Nile originates. That is where the name Nai Wolomo comes from. Nai Wolomo means the high priest of the Nile. The Assyrians attacked us again while we were in Ethiopia. So from Ethiopia, we traveled through southern Sudan and settled in the period of time in Niger and then Nigeria. We migrated again and settled at Dahomey and later traveled to Togo, where we stayed briefly. From Togo, we traveled to the eastern banks of the river Volta, where we then crossed the river Volta at a place between the old Bon and Akuse and established settlements on the plains. Later, we migrated to the plains between Lolovo and Osudoku hills. This is why we guys say, Wagbejeke, meaning we are from far. We know that Jacob had 12 sons, Reuben, Simon, Levi, and Judah from Leah, then Joseph and Benjamin from Rahel, Gad and Asher from Zilpah, Dan and Naphtali from Bilhah. We the Gads are descendants of the 5th and 7th sons of Jacob, Dan and Gad. That's our name, Gad Dangbe. Gad Dangbe. When we look at our customs, there are striking parallels. Our custom of circumcision of our male born, our Aldoran sanctification, what we called Bojemo, and the naming of our newly born on the 8th day after birth is in accordance with ancient Hebrew customs. We the Gads have 3 great annual feasts, festivals, if you would call them so, namely Homowo, Mayeli, and Mato. In the Torah, Homowo is the feast of Pesach and unleavened bread, what the church calls Passover. That is why there's no leaven in our Pokboe. Mayeli is the feast of weeks, Shavuot, what the church calls Pentecost. Mato is the feast of ingathering, that is Tabernacles or Sukkot. In traditional Gamashi and other areas of Greater Accra, we the Gads used to paint the doorpost of our houses with the blood of a lamb during the Homowo festival. An unlearned mind will call this pagan. This was done to remember what the angel of God told Moses to ask the Israelites to do when they were under the bondage of Pharaoh in Mizraim. This is exactly what we do during the Homowo festival. Yes, we had to replace the blood of the lamb with the red mud when the lamb became too expensive for most guys to afford. But it's not pagan at all. The ancestors of the Ga people are from long, long ago, Hebrew Israelites from the tribe of Gad and Dan. We have been miseducated to the extent that everything in our own culture is regarded as primitive or pagan, and many of our so-called educated people are victims of such psychological confusion. They unfortunately regard their self-esteem as violated if they are found to have anything to do with primitive languages instead of speaking foreign languages parrot-wise. We can trace this problem to the current pessimistic stance that the church as a whole has towards the Ghanaian local tradition. It is seen as something very backward and demonic. All that is Ghanaian is seen as evil. Not at all. Remember what Moses tells us. Remember the days of old. Reflect upon the years of other generations. Ask your father, and he will tell you. Your elders, and they will inform you. I'm proud to be a Ghanaian. I'm proud to be a Ga, a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Gad and Dan. Tra Omanye Abba.
Are many Black Americans that are waking up to Torah and returning to their roots, but they took it away from us in slavery. Can you give us some words of encouragement for Black Americans who are returning to Torah?
Yes. I hope God has really blessed the blacks, because the Torah was for us, but they took it away from us. And now that we see that the Torah is for us, we all people should be encouraged to go back and take the Torah, so that our people will not take it from us, because it is our culture, it is our thing that our ancestors were given. So I encourage every Black American to get out to know the Torah, that the Torah was given to them, because Jacob was a black, he was not a white. So I urge everyone who has really going to study the Torah that he will have courage and have the ability to come out with the Torah, so that God will really bless us, God will let us know our destiny in this world. And we pray that everybody who has take this opportunity will find the fruitful. He will bless his people, and Adonai will also help him. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen.
Promised land, holy Mount Zion, here I come, holy Mount Zion, here I come, I'm coming with my open arms, I know you are with me, I'm coming, wanna see all my brethren and sisters, yeah. I've been working from my eyes down my knees. So, oh Lord, please hear my plea. Deliver me from the hands of all evil. Oh Lord, in thee I put my trust. Holy Mount Zion, here I come. Holy Mount Zion, here I come. I know you awaits me. Yes, I'm coming. Holy Mount Zion. Yeah. Many years I know I've been slaving. Slave masters keep whipping my back. Still I know I will never stop working. Yes.